There are a few family members who have agreed to field some of your questions and make a brief statement. I would just ask that we be respectful. Obviously, it's been an extremely difficult season for them, so they'll come up, they'll give their names and spell them, and then again, just be respectful of the questions. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Record, my name is Jacob Ellis Thurman. I was the son of Gerald Thurman. Just feels like we've been on one of the longest nightmares of my life for the last 20 plus years. Finally feel like got the closure to all this that the families have deserved and fought for. Really thankful for all my family and friends that have supported us, and all the hard work, the district attorneys and everybody involved to make this process go forward. I feel like now we can finally be at peace with this, and God rest his soul. If you have any questions?
Did you witness the execution?
I did.
And do you spell your name J-A-C-O-B?
Yes, sir.
Did you feel this day would ever come because the politics got involved here?
Honestly, no. I was very optimistic after it was taken away in December of 2022. And then about 40-something days later, I watched my mother die of organ failure. She was holding on to hopefully see this. It was denied then.
So are you grateful to Trump and Drummond and all that?
Everybody involved. It takes an army, I see, to make all this happen, and Bondi, the governor, the attorney general, everyone behind the scenes. Feels good to finally feel like we have some closure and our families can pick up the pieces now and move forward.
This obviously is just a relief, Jake.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel lighter. Yeah.
Did those fears come back this week when there was a stay issue?
There sure was. You know, at any minute it could be called off. I understand that, and I'm just very thankful everything went through and it's finalized, and we're at the finish line with this.
He said, just forgive me. What do you think about that?
It's the most he's said in a long time, besides the clemency. So it was good to hear some remorse. That was peaceful and comforting a little bit. It's just horrific that everybody loses, all families lose in this situation. Nobody's a winner.
Sir, do you live in Tulsa?
Yes, sir. Tulsa, Oklahoma.
My name is Sarah Parker Mooney, and Mary Bowles was my aunt. I'm here today with my family. First and foremost, I want to thank the Tulsa Police Department. They did an excellent job, and Detective Nance is here with us today. They listened to us when we reported my aunt missing, and they believed that it was not just a missing person situation. I also want to recognize the Tulsa County District Attorney, specifically Tim Harris, who's not able to be with us here today. I have to thank the Office of the Attorney General and his staff. They've done an excellent job over many decades now. And specifically, Karen Cunningham has my utmost praise and gratitude for her help and support. Capital punishment is not an effective form of justice when it takes 26 years. Respectfully, if the state is going to continue to execute individuals, a better process is needed. This existing process is broken. There must be limitations on taxpayer-funded, frivolous litigation as exemplified in the past 2 weeks. It's ridiculous, it's expensive, and it only re-victimizes the survivors. In this case, it served no purpose. Thank you.
Ma'am, you live in a different state, right?
I do.
And what state is that?
Texas?
Texas.
Did you also witness the execution, sir?
Yes, I did.
What did you think when he said just forgive me?
I didn't hear him say, just forgive me. I thought I heard him say forgiveness and peace to everyone. I thought he was forgiving us. That was my interpretation of the statement.
What do you think he said peace to everyone?
Why?
What did you think when he said peace to everyone?
No specific thought.
Did they bring you any closure, or what kind of feelings do you feel today?
We don't have to litigate this anymore. We're done litigating this.
I would ask the same question I asked him. Did you have some concern or last minute fear or doubt this week because of what played out?
Yeah, I did. It was a ridiculous exercise. An expensive and ridiculous exercise involving lots of attorneys.
Did any of Ms. Bull's siblings survive to see this day? Are they all gone, her siblings?
My mother was her surviving sibling, and she died in 2008.
What do you wish people knew about this process that they don't really know?
It's
What do you wish people knew about the death penalty process that most people really don't understand?
how it's funded and who the actors involved are and what it's really about. Which it's not about the victim, and I'm not sure it's about the defendant either.
Would you say your overwhelming feeling today is relief that the process is now ended?
I'm relieved that it's over with, yes. But nobody wins, like Jake said.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And finally, we get to hear from our award-winning media witnesses. Sean, you'll go first. For those of you who may not have done this before, when you get up here, please say and spell your first and last name and your affiliation. John, you want to start us off?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Sean Murphy. I'm a reporter for the Associated Press. So my name is spelled S-E-A-N, last name M-U-R-P-H-Y. So obviously there were 5 media witnesses. Also inside the witness chamber was a legal investigator, Brandy Harris, on behalf of Mr. Hanson, and then some public officials, the Attorney General, Public Safety Secretary, and three other officials. The curtain was raised at 10 a.m. The death warrant was read. Mr. Hanson was lying on a gurney, strapped to the gurney with both of his arms extended, a sheet covering below his torso. He had, we could see his left arm, tattooed left arm with the IV inserted. He was asked to give his last words. There was, as you heard, one of the victims' niece said she heard forgiveness. I thought I heard him say forgive me, but then he did say peace to everyone. And then the execution began at 10:01. The spiritual advisor was in the chamber with him in the death chamber and was reading from what appeared to be a Bible. I could see chemicals flowing at 10:02. At 10:03, I could see a slight twitch in his neck and what was either labored breathing or kind of some hitching, some slight heaving. You could see his neck moving and his chest moving. His mouth and eyes were closed. Those, I guess, involuntary movements, I don't know exactly how to describe them, but you can see his Adam's apple moving up and down. The doctor, wearing a mask, entered the chamber at 10:06, shook him several times and called out his name and then declared him unconscious. I could see that the movement, the involuntary movement of his chest and neck continue until it appeared to stop at about 10:07. I would also note that when he was declared unconscious, the microphone came on. You could hear him what appeared to be snoring. I could see the second chemicals flowing through the IV at 10:07. At that point, the breathing or movements appeared to stop. I could see a slight neck twitch at 10:08. By 10:09, there was no detectable movement at all. The doctor entered at 10:10, checked for a pulse, heartbeat, pupil dilation, and then he was declared dead at 10:11, which is one of the quickest that I can recall, certainly in recent memory. That's about it. You guys have any questions?
Sean, did he have any family seated in front of you or friends or anything like that?
No family, just the legal team investigator, Ms. Harris.
Did you have feel for his demeanor?
I mean, he was pretty subdued, and just the brief last words, and that was it. I did see, after they turned the mic off after the last words, he did appear to communicate briefly with the spiritual advisor who was in the chamber.
Would it be accurate to say the last words were mumbled?
I mean, I definitely heard him say forgive. I don't know. There was some discrepancy between whether it was forgiveness. Some of us heard forgiveness. I thought he said forgive me, but I can't be certain. I definitely heard him say peace to everyone was the last thing he said. So, sorry. Thank you.
I'm Nolan Clay. It's NOLANCLAY. I work for the Oklahoman. This is a newspaper in Oklahoma City. There was some, when he was asking any last words, he was a low voice. He said just, and he paused. I thought he said forgive me, but others said, he said forgiveness. I did hear and peace to everyone. But, it was because the whole thing was subdued. And so it's no surprise that he kind of didn't really say in a loud voice. A couple of other observations. The entrance that we all went in, and others who have seen who've been to executions, the entrance to the H unit where all the witnesses go in had been damaged by the storm. They had boards up. It was one of the quickest that I had seen. Another observation I had that Sean did mention was the spiritual advisor was at the end of the gurney, but by the side of his feet, not at the end of his feet, but by the side of his feet. And the pastor was dressed in a suit. He smiled after the inmate said his last words, smiled at him broadly. The inmate, Mr. Hanson, said something to him, and the pastor read from a Bible and then appeared to pray. Something else I noticed I hadn't noticed before, when the curtain went up, Mr. Hanson was, he did not look over at us at all that I saw, and he appeared to be blinking rapidly over and over until he started saying his last words. I don't know if he was fighting back tears. I tried to see if I could see any tears. I didn't really see any tears, but I did see that he was blinking rather rapidly. I saw the somewhat labored breathing, but nothing out of the ordinary. I associated it with it. He was probably snoring, and like Sean said, when they made the declaration that that he was unconscious, you could hear him snoring pretty loudly. Any questions?
No, if we remember back to Grissom and the pastor that was in front of him, and she just read the whole time and was talking, is that the same that pastor did today? He read the whole time? Or?
No, I mean he walked to the side of his feet and he smiled. It was a remarkable smile, and it seemed to I don't know, comfort the inmate a second or two. And then about the time the inmate closed his eyes, the pastor started reading from the Bible, and he only read, I don't know, a minute or two, and then the pastor closed his eyes and appeared to pray. And I took it as prayer. I mean, I didn't see his lips moving, but he bowed his head and had his eyes closed, which you typically would associate with a pastor praying. And he prayed for, I mean, the whole thing was pretty quick. He prayed for a few minutes. He did look at Mr. Hanson again, and then appeared to close his eyes and pray some more.
No, I must have on the same day.
All the same thing?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Is,
It's different from
is
that.
this Pastor Michael Todd of Transformation in Tulsa? Is that who this is?
Michael Scott.
Scott.
He does volunteer some here at OSP.
We good?
Yeah. And y'all are all the same.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. We need to get our facility back to normal operating procedures, so we're asking to break down as quickly as possible. Any live shots need to be done outside the game.
Well, all right then. All right, thank you.
All right, I'm so harsh.